VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what is the deal with Caitlin Clark? Before we get too far into this, if you like the video, please like the video, which how you know we're only a few seconds in. And if you like the channel and you like what we do, you've been here before, please sub. Please sub. We're at 810 subs. We want to get to 900 subs and eventually that 1,000 so we can get monetized completely on this channel. So I'll be honest, I'm not a WNBA fan. I'm not that big of a women's basketball fan. I did kind of pay attention when I was younger, and Diana Taurasi was still with Connecticut in college. I do vaguely remember the launch of WNBA, Cheryl Swoops, and some of those players, but it's just not something that I've been big into. In fact, the last few times I saw the WNBA was lowlights, right? I think a lot of us saw a lot of WNBA lowlights and made fun of the league. And then this year, in college basketball, the female side, this girl named Caitlin Clark rose to stardom. I know this is probably not her first year, probably her third or fourth year, right? Because that's how it usually is for college. And rose to stardom. I think she drew 18 million, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. For the championship game, and maybe 12 million for one of the semifinals, something like that. Lots of people watched her play, right? More than watched the playoffs that were going on around the same time. So this is a draw, a draw. If you know anything about television nowadays, you know, people don't watch television. People do not watch television to the same extent that they used to. Everything is online. Even my grandma watches like Tubi and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a different era. So when you get 18, 10, whatever it is, million people to sit in front of a TV and watch somebody, and it's not the NFL, you've done something right. Everything's falling off. The Oscars are falling off. The NBA's falling off. The playoffs are falling off. The MLB's falling off. And you got 18 million people to watch this chick. She must be a star. So now the WNBA, who's been complaining about equal pay, but the response is, hey, nobody watches your league. We only think of lowlights. You don't have any stars. You don't have anyone that people want to see. Finally have a star. Finally have somebody who comes to the league. And people care, man. People care. People watch her games. Yeah, she has haters. She has haters. People want, even whether they want to prey on her downfall or they want to celebrate her success. You know, she's still a rookie. She has turnover issues, it looks like. But, you know, she'll have a game, get 20 points. She'll shoot a few of those long threes that hasn't captivated a nation. And you would think the WNBA, they can't be amongst the haters, right? Wrong. There's a lot of ways you can go this. You can go with, you know, women hate each other. I'm not saying they do. I'm saying if you were maybe a little red pill, which that's a mess. Red pill's a mess. So don't go with that. You know, if you're anti-woke, which is also a mess, you can say, oh, look at this racial stuff. Speaking of which, Becky Hammond, listen, man, ma'am, if you don't know what she said about Caitlin Clark, I don't know the original comments that sparked this comment, but she said black and brown athletes are not celebrated enough. And I'm like, hey, have you heard of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson for the old heads, Patrick Mahomes? You know, I could go on and on with black, or if I want to go with my Brown brothers. I'm in Texas. Shout out to Mako, Canelo Alvarez, Alex Rodriguez. Shit, everybody, even still, Ryan Garcia failed the steroid test. I just realized the other two did too. But I didn't mean anything by that. Please don't fuck me up. Please don't fuck me up, bro. Please. But everybody loves Ryan Garcia, even though he failed the fucking drug test. But there's other guys that didn't. Miguel Cabrera. Why can I forget my man from Detroit? I'm a Detroit fan. Miguel Cabrera. I'm just doing this off the top. If I won the list, Roberto Clemente for the true old heads. There's been a lot of black and brown athletes. Roberto Duran, going back to boxing. There's been a lot of black and brown athletes throughout the years that have gotten celebrated. Maybe, some of them didn't get celebrated enough depending on the era. If you're talking about, the 40s and stuff like that. But I think that's been handled, right? I don't think that has anything to do with Caitlin Clark. Here's another thing about Caitlin Clark. You think the feminists would love her. I mean this with no disrespect. She's not. It's not her looks. It must be a shot because it ain't your face. No disrespect. No disrespect. She is not Maria Sharapova or even a Ronda Rousey, right? I think what made Ronda Rousey's rise was that she was a little bit more photogenic, right? She did the little posing on. Did she do the bikini posing and some of the kind of suggestive poses for ESPN's bathing suit issue? So she had a more photogenic, more voluptuous type body. And Caitlin Clark's a skinny string being, kind of Sarah Jane playing it tall. No disrespect. This is all on her athletic achievement. It is not on her looks. Maybe, I mean, if it's a little race, who cares? Who cares, man? I don't get this racial thing in basketball being brought up, man. Especially because it's all media, right? I don't think, if you go on the other side, I did a video last week that's starting to get some traction. I don't think everyone got the point, but it's all right. As long as you watch it, please watch it if you haven't. About Gilbert Arenas and his discrimination against European players, rather it's racism or him just being a hot take merchant. The idea is it doesn't really matter. He's just full of crap in general, and he's just going to say things to trigger you, right? So ignore him. And honestly, that's the way of the media in general. They don't necessarily have to believe the stuff they say, but they want to say things to trigger people for attention, right? So, oh man, everything lined up blue. It's random, so whenever that happens, it's pretty cool, the lights. In any event, I don't think black people don't like Luka Doncic or Jokic or in this case Caitlin Clark, but it's something with the media. They're trying to make a racial divide. It's like, no, you can look on the internet, look at B Souls, look at Dreamers Pro. Going back to the video, I had a clip from Young Mustard where he just laughed at the idea that Jamal Crawford was better than Ginobili. It just sounded so crazy to him. So I don't think regular fans think this stuff, but for whatever reason, the media is really trying to push a racial divide. I understand why. Eazy-E was right.
All of a sudden, Dr. Dre is the G thing, but on his own album covers, he was a she thing. So
again, not that Eazy-E. Eric Bischoff, he's back and better than ever, and controversy still creates cash. So I get it. Saying something controversial, we're post 2020 where everyone had a hot take, and those hot takes got traction either they were legitimate or not. And so there's a lot of that at play, even with Caitlin Clark. A lot of this hate is astronomical. A lot of hate is semi-justified, and what I mean by that is whenever you have someone with a lot of hype, no matter what race, no matter what the hell's going on, there's going to be someone to nitpick, and that's okay, and that's fair. Even this year with Wemby, it was like, well, his team isn't that good. So, you know what I mean? There's always going to be some nitpicking, and that's okay. You know, pressure makes diamonds, even though diamonds are overpriced by the De Beers thing. That's a whole other can of worms. You get the saying, though. Pressure makes diamonds or bust pipes, and that's what I'm worried about. If we compare her to the male athlete she's most like, which is Steph Curry, or at least most compared to, that's a guy that wasn't great his rookie year. It took him a few years to adjust to the NBA, to adjust to taking those long threes. And it may take Caitlin Clark a few years. But the WNBA themselves would be fucking foolish, including her coach, who said something about her taking long threes and should be taking long twos, which is stupid, or Becky Hammond, or anyone else in the WNBA sphere. They would be fucking moronic to try to get this girl out of the league. Listen, we've seen a lot of #1 picks start off, hit the ground running amongst sports and be great, and a lot of #1 picks take some time, and worse still, a lot of #1 picks bust out. And if this girl busts out the WNBA, you're done, homie. You're done. You are a low lights league. You are a league which YouTubers outdraw. You're not that good. You do not have the space to let Caitlin Clark bust out the league. Am I saying you should just open up the red carpet for her and just make everything easy if you're the other team? No, you still have to win, and you should be trying to make yourselves into stars off of her back, because that's how this shit works. But for fuck's sake, she needs to be who everybody wants her to be if this league has a chance. I have never seen anything like Caitlin Clark. I have never seen anyone talk about the WNBA with any legitimacy, ever. where there are sports channels now, whether they like her or hate her, talking about the WNBA's product legitimately. They're not just making jokes. They're not just talking about lowlights. They're not just talking about they can't hit a layup. They're not talking about the fans. They are breaking down her numbers as if she's a legitimate athlete. You could not ask for more if you're the WNBA. Now, she still has her part. She has to develop. She has to deal with the hate. She's going through this like X-Men thing. She's trying to save a league that hates her. You know what I mean? But hey, if she does it, it's a compelling story, and you'll make a lot of money, and you'll be able to make more stars off of this. If she fails, everyone fails. You all fucked up, and nobody gets money, and it's back to low lights with a lot of you. So, the WNBA, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care, man. It's not my money. It's not my league. But if you want to shit on Caitlin Clark for whatever reasons, whether it's cattiness or racism or anything, that's your business. That's your league down the drain. In any event, what do you think about all this nonsense? Do you agree? You care about Caitlin Clark? I kind of don't. You know, I still kind of don't care about WNBA, but I find this shit fascinating. I can't imagine that a WNBA player would generate this much energy, positive and negative, but it is what it is. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.